Hello there, welcome to Learning English is Fun with Teacher Fidelis. And today we shall still continue with the discussion that we had. We never finished that discussion on some of the characters that you can actually discuss using this text, Fathers of Nations. And he said, if you look at chapter 3, this chapter talks about Professor Karanja Kimani. What does he do? Who is he? Now, look at page 21. For you to answer any question that needs you to talk about Professor Karanja Kimani, then you need to understand that Professor Karanja Kimani is this person who is working in this particular place and doing this and that, okay? So once we start reading chapter 3, page 21, we see that Professor Karanja Kimani joined the University of Nairobi straight from the University of Oxford, where he was, going for his university studies, and then he joined as a senior lecturer. When he came to the University of Nairobi, he brought with him this noisy campaign that the university should be a place for change, a place where you just don't go teach and do nothing. You're supposed to come up with something that is actually changing the society. This noisy debate was too radical. Most people thought it was too radical, but he didn't mind. His friends thought that it was self-destructive and it would not be good for him, but it was working, actually. It was working for him. Now, when you go to page 22, there's a conversation between Professor Karanja Kimani and his daughter, Tuni. What are they discussing? What are they talking about? They're talking about a global economic recession. When you talk about the global economic recession, this is whereby then you talk about how the MPs were earning less, the professors would earn more, but then if you look at page 23, then you see that the MPs now earned up to 100 times more. Bad leadership comes in. So as you look at a certain character, look at what happens in his life and some of the emerging issues that you can discuss using that particular character. That is page 23. When you read about the economic recession, then you get to find that information. When you get to page 25, you see that now the MPs would break the law and they would take that breach as a new law. That's why when you look at Professor Karanja Kimani, he was saying that this particular thing of having a coup by the army was not even bad, but the coup by the members of parliament was even worse. When you look at page 25, he says, the long and short of it, Tuni, is that nothing has really changed. Change in Africa has only replaced tyranny by presidents with tyranny by MPs. So at first it was the presidents who would be tyrannical, but now the MPs were even more tyrannical. And then he says, then he resumed, come to think of it, the French have always done this, had it right. They say, the more things change, the more things stay the same. Actually, we have had it right all along as well. We say, msitu mpya, nyani ni wale wale. So like, the forest is new, direct translation, but the monkeys are the same. Like nothing changes. You think there's change because basically you're moving from this person to the next, but the change is not there. So moving from the presidents, going to the MPs, there's nothing that has changed. The government was supposed to protect its citizens. Nothing happened. There's no growth. There's no growth. Then look at male violence. The discussion Tuni has with her mom and her dad about safety and how women should protect themselves. The mother doesn't want to hear anything of this, but Tuni is a woman who tries to get information to protect herself. Then moving on, you get to now a discussion where we have Tuni involved in a road accident. Tuni was supposed to use her father's car, but she doesn't. Reason? Professor Karanja Kimani did not have enough money to repair the car. And so Tuni had to use public means. At this point, then an accident happens, and there's this unlucky minibus where a woman is trapped on her seat. Guess who this woman is? This Tuni. People try to rescue her, but nothing happens. They try to call or dial a number that would come and assist, but it doesn't work. Then the death or Tony's death then brings about the kind of disagreement Professor Karanja Kimani and Asia had. And at this point, Asia says that she's leaving Professor Karanja Kimani. He does not believe it. And to make matters worse, she says that she is leaving Professor Karanja Kimani to go get married to Newborn Walomu. Newborn Walomu was a colleague to Professor Karanja Kimani. They used to work together. But then he went into politics and left that teaching job. And now he had a lot of money. Professor Karanja Kimani does not take this sitting down. So what does he do? He decides to actually go and confront Newborn Walomu, page 34-35. And when he gets to the office, he's met with these beautiful young pretty secretaries, and the women are just looking at him and laughing, wondering, why is this old man coming here? I want you to remember the kind of description that was given for Professor Karanja Kimani in chapter 1. Maybe I can read for you in case you have forgotten. So you see, so that you get to see why these two women were laughing. Now check. Chapter 1, page 1. First to check in was a man aged about 60 years. His hairline had retreated all the way back to his crown, but there it had held. No more hair loss. He had a strange habit of smacking his lips as he talks, appearing to shape each word first and then add voice to it only after. Arrival formalities required him to complete and sign in a registration card. That is Professor Karanja Kimani. So he didn't even have hair. Like his hair had retreated up to he was bald in any case. So once he gets to this office, these women wonder, why is this man here? And so because the two girls were not letting him go in, he brushes past them and went to Newborn's office. And when he gets there, guess what he says? He says, "You fat baboon." That is what's written in the book. So it's not my words, it's the book. So the man is just there thinking, what's up? And then he says, "This is my office, Karanja." He said, "You will use nothing but civil language while you are in it. Do you understand?" He does not answer. So definitely this is someone who is angry. On that page, that is page 35, we get to know more or get some information about Newborn Walomu and what he does or how he got that particular seat in parliament. Then once he talks to Newborn Walomu, Karanja asks, "Why do you want to steal my wife?" Then he says, "The word I used was marry. Do you prefer steal? What good is she to you?" Professor Kimani then cursed. Then he says, "What good is she to me? Is that what you have asked? Because she is much older than I am? Is that what you mean? Here's my answer. Old is gold." And after that, now he goes on and gives wife stealing statistics from different parts of the world. And now there's the 30%. That is a lot of wife stealing. He talks about the Americans and whatnot. But Karanja Kimani is so mad. He's so angry, and he starts fighting. So he swings and misses. He swings yet another time and he misses and falls down. After that, what happens to Professor Karanja Kimani? he's arrested. I'll read page 38. Professor Kimani was charged with assaulting a member of parliament. His university followed suit by demoting him from his current rank as a full professor back to his starting rank as a senior lecturer. This, it said, was his due punishment for disgracing the university in the eye of the public. 6 months of jail followed. Then he was set free as he walked back to his house dejectedly, putting foot ahead of foot. His career was all he could see, and it was doomed beyond revival. That is Professor Karanja Kimani for you. Like, everything is lost and there was nothing else he could do. And then now, after that, how did he get to join AGDA? When you go to page 39, this is where now he gets to meet Tad Longway, and they talk about special projects at AGDA, Agency for Governance and Development in Africa. So he talks to Mr. Longway, and at this point, Karanja Kimani didn't see anything that he was afraid of losing. He had lost his wife, he had lost his daughter Tony, he had lost his job at the university, so he didn't mind getting into a different kind of path, and that is where he joins AGDA. When you read page 41, this is where now you find Tad Longway talking about what the government, not the government, but what AGDA meant. And he talked about AGDA bringing change to African states, eradicating poverty, ignorance, diseases, corruption, something that other leaders would say they would change, but nothing was getting changed. And at this point, AGDA or Tad Longway thought this is something that would interest this particular character, that is Professor Karanja Kimani. So that's it about the character. Read up to page 45 and you'll have everything. If you read it the first time and you feel like it's not enough, feel free to read it another time, an extra time. Make sure that once you're done reading, you can answer everything. Like if you had plot questions about Professor Karanja Kimani, you can easily answer them. And that way now, when you're given an essay, it will be so easy for you to work on. Again, for Professor Karanja Kimani, read chapter 3. That is from page 23 to page 45. Do 2-3 times. I mean, like, there are very few pages. You can read that within 10 to 15 minutes and then read again. Get a friend that can help you answer plot questions on the same, and you will be better equipped. Now, in the next episode, we'll be looking at, let's see, we can do Comrade Melusi. Let's see, maybe something about his wife Ziliza, the way they were fighting Smith with the bomber. Let's know what is Gukurahundi, Rambatsvina, what is NIP, and such. So watch out for the next episode. That is what we shall be discussing. And now, once we start again going back to answering those essay questions, I'm very sure it will be easier and better. Until next time, I always enjoy having these lessons with you, and I'm looking forward to having more. In case there's something you'd want us to discuss or talk about, let me know in the comment section. Until then, it's a goodbye from me. Bye.